Now, if you're standing where I am standing right now on this exact patch of pavement on Main Street, you are standing on the final bloody footprint of the most terrifying day in Platte County history. You see right here on August 20th, 1900, the man who brought hell to Farley wasn't a drifting outlaw. He was the local doctor. Our story doesn't start here on Main Street. It begins on the rural outskirts of town at the Wallace family home. Dr. Sterling Price Harrington, known to locals as Sturley, was a man whose mind had evidently curdled into something monstrous. And on that sweltering August morning, Dr. Harrington traded his Hippocratic oath for a revolver. So he drove his buggy to the Wallace house, stepped inside, and shattered the morning quiet. And by the time he drove away, his mother-in-law, Mary Wallace, and his wife's uncle, James Wallace, lay dead. But Harrington was not done. He was just getting warmed up, and he had vengeance on his mind. The man went completely crazy. Now, like a man checking off items on a grocery list from hell, Harrington drove his buggy across the river into Kansas. And now you ask yourself, what was his goal? His goal was upgrading his firepower. He purchased a heavy Winchester rifle and pockets full of ammunition. And then he turned right back toward Farley. He wasn't running. He was coming back to finish what he started. Now, he pulled up right here where the modern Farley post office now stands. In 1900, this plot of land was occupied by William Weah. William Weah had a general store, a wooden hub of small-town gossip and dry goods. And Harrington walked through the door, raised his rifle, and tried to rob the place. But the store clerk was not having it. He said, "You're going to learn today." They both was having their day. A frantic, deafening shootout erupted inside the store, filling the air with black powder smoke and flying splinters, shattering glass and destroying everything on the shelf. Harrington stumbled back out of the doorway, empty-handed but still armed to the teeth, and that is when he ran face first into the law. Platte County Sheriff John Dillingham was waiting for him right here on the sidewalk. But Harrington was faster. A single brutal shot to the head, and Sheriff Dillingham was dead before he hit the dirt. Now you got to think to yourself for a split second, Dr. Harrington, he must have felt invincible. But justice in the Old West had a way of moving fast. Standing right beside the fallen lawman was his 23-year-old son and deputy, Henry Dillingham. Now imagine the cocktail of grief and adrenaline coursing through that young man's veins. Henry raised his weapon and returned fire and cut the killer doctor down right in the middle of Main Street, right here in front of me where I'm standing. Him and the sheriff was both laying right here in the street. The old wooden general store was torn down in 1934. It got swallowed up by time and progress. But history has a stubborn way of refusing to be erased. If you come to Farley today, you'll find this bronze plaque bolted near the sidewalk. It states in cold, hard metal that Sheriff Dillingham and Dr. Harrington both drew their final breaths on this spot right here. It's an eerie feeling. And today it's got that dark overcast, and I'm looking around, and it feels crazy out here. On a beautiful afternoon like today, you just step away from the mailboxes and the morning commute, and you look closely at the pavement. And you can still feel the echo of the gunfire that shook this town to its core over a century ago. It's kind of windy and sunny, but it's got an overcast out here, and it's just real eerie. And this is your boy, Mac Malone, the KC journalist. Hope you guys enjoyed this story. More to come. Signing out. Peace.
Let's go. Mac Malone, he's your KC journalist. Mac Malone, he's your KC journalist. Mac Malone, he's your KC journalist. And you know, get the best from that KC journalist.